Uh-oh, what am I doing? Got one of these and I'm cutting my structure. See, just across here, cutting it out. I'm not going crazy. Actually, right when I did this in the first place, this is the span across the double door at the front. My neighbour came on in and said, usually there's a double beam across the top. And I went, and he goes, it shouldn't really worry you because you've got the steel structure, etc., etc. And I went, okay, never mind then. And then when I went to the hardware store and was talking about what fasteners to use on my door plates that go around the door frames, so the facing wood, and they suggested some pretty long screws to keep it fastened. And then he goes, "You've got double wood, right?" And I went, "No, I don't." And he goes, "Oh, well, you should." And I went, "Well, I've got a shed structure holding up." "Oh, okay. Oh, then you're probably all right then." But one of the things that I am thinking of is that this is a fairly large opening, and indeed it doesn't have any steel because it's the front of the shed. So I am just going back across here, cutting them off the level, and I'm going to insert a new beam in, and then I'll have some double timber going across the top, which should just give a little bit more rigidity. Slamming door keeps it all in place for the long term. So that's why I'm just coming through and cutting off. I haven't quite sawn all the way through. As soon as I get most of them cut 90%, then I'll just come and finish off sliding a new piece of timber and then drill these screws back in again. I'll probably put longer ones in now, and then that'll permit me to put very long screws to hold the door frame around on the frame. So I haven't quite gone crazy, not quite. So just the other thing that I did as well was just created a double beam going from top to bottom as well, and so that goes all the way down, back down to the ground, and that gives me some double beams on the side as well. I have a window. It opens and closes. So I may have shown you already the frame that I built around for the window. I didn't put the top piece in because what I wanted to do was get the window in and then just bring the top piece of timber down on top of it and then come in at the side. And that worked fine. And then I thought to myself, well, how do I attach this top beam now that the window's in up into these little pieces of vertical that I put at the top? And I thought, of course, why don't I just go straight through the frame of the window, because I do need to attach it anyway, and go straight up into these vertical beams here and here, so I didn't need to take the window out. Perfect. So this side here was completely plumb vertical. I had this piece along the bottom here perfectly level. Top one just needed to come in and be level as well after I had attached the wooden frame around the side. The key was this edge down here. So this pole down the side here was never level, was never plumb, because this pole here was just slightly off. And so now I've had to pack down the side by inserting a couple of packers into the side here. Just going to cut myself on a piece of steel. Ow. These here are the packers that I'm talking about. It's just a very thin wedge, a little bit thicker at this end, tapering down to the back end here. And this is, I would guess, kind of a plastic, I'm not entirely sure what's in the plastic as well, whether or not it's a wood fiber or something, but it does appear to be something else in it. I think it's probably a wood fiber. And it's got these little ridges here to help with what you do with it after you put it in. So what you end up doing is sliding it in, getting it to a point where it grips on the wood, which in this case is quite low down here. You get it in so it's tight, like that, and then you would come in here and you'd snap off the last bit, of which I have done. You can see in a couple of spots. There's one there where I have cut it off. So, and that keeps the window in place, and then you just come around to the front and you insert some screws. Just inset those screws a little bit so that I can put some wood filler, and so that I can smooth over it and you won't be able to see that with the windowsill. So there you go. You want just enough overhang here of the casing of the window going up along the timber, along the top and along the other side plus the bottom. And the purpose of that is because we're going to put some, in this case we're going to put some dryboard plasterboard, probably gyprock, and that's 10mm in thickness. That will butt up against here like this, and then over the top we will put the architrave. Just a couple of things worth noting with the window is if you don't get it square, your window won't open and close. So make sure you get it square and make sure you get it perfectly upright as well. Otherwise, windows, or more particularly doors, will end up swinging open or closed with gravity, and that can be a little bit irritating.